Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad Jahangir Alam, lecturer in physics from Milestone College. I welcome you all in my online class. First of all, thanks to Almighty that He has given me the ability to take this class. Dear student, still we are all right and carrying on our regular activities in this unwanted world situation of COVID-19. So, my heartiest gratitude to Almighty again. The most important thing we need in this situation is our awareness or proper knowledge about the reason behind this type of situation. And I believe only the awareness can save us from this worldwide panic. Already we have informed that we have to wash our hands frequently. We need to use mask when we go out in emergency. We have to be disciplined in our regular life as our food habit, in regular exercise which can enrich our immune system. Here I also believe all of you are showing your best respect to these rules and regulation. Right. Today we are going to discuss some important topics from our 5th chapter, that is the chapter of state of matter and pressure. Right. Our today's first topic is Pascal's law. Scientist Pascal stated a law regarding pressure, and we know what is pressure. Pressure is the force applied perpendicularly on unit area, and Pascal's law stated that external pressure applied on a liquid or gas enclosed in a container is transmitted equally and act perpendicularly on the surface of the container in contact with the liquid or gas. This is a very important statement or law. Student, if we explain the law with a figure, we can consider that suppose this is a container which contains liquid or gas. So according to the Pascal's law, if we apply an external pressure at this point, suppose if we apply P1 pressure at the point, according to this law, this pressure will be transmitted. This pressure will be transmitted equally in all direction. That is, pressure will be transmitted in all direction equally and act perpendicularly on the surface. This pressure will be act perpendicularly on the surface in contact with the liquid or gas. That is, the pressure at this point, this point, this point, if we denote the point by A, this is by B, C, D, E, F. So according to this law, the pressure at point A, B, C, D, E, F all will be equal. Okay? Right. Dear student, now we are going to learn one of application of Pascal's law, which is also known as multiplication of force. Dear student, have a look in the figure. Here is a U-shaped container which contains two cylinders and with two pistons, one with smaller area and one with greater area. If we apply a force of F1 on the smaller area whose area is A1, then according to the definition of pressure, pressure at the smaller area if denoted by P1, P1 will be equal to F1 by A1, right? According to Pascal's law, we know if a pressure is applied on this surface, this pressure will be transmitted equally in all direction. That is, the pressure will be transmitted in all direction and will be act perpendicularly on the surface in contact with the liquid or gas. So this piston is in contact with the liquid and same pressure will be applied in this surface. So according to this criteria, if F2 force is applied on the surface of A2, so the definition of pressure, P2, pressure at the surface P2 will be equal to F2 by A2. Dear student, according to the Pascal's law, we know this pressure, the applied pressure and exerted pressure will be equal. So we can write that P1 equal to P2, right? If we use the value of P1 and P2 in this equation, then we will get F1 by A1 is equal to F2 by A2, or by interchanging we get F2 by A2 is equal to F1 by A1, or F2 is equal to F1 multiplied by divided by A1 multiplied by A2. From this equation we can write that F2 is equal to A2 by A1 multiplied by F1. We can interchange the position of F1 and A2 by this equation. So from this equation we can say that F2 is equal to the product of the ratio of A2 by A1 and F1. From the figure we can see that A2 is definitely greater than A1. A2 is definitely greater than A1. So the ratio of A2 and A1 is obviously more than 1. Okay. So from the expression we can say that F2 is more than F1. Okay, dear student. So from the expression we can say that by applying a smaller force we can get large force according to the Pascal's law. Okay, so this is known as multiplication of force. We can multiply a force. If the area A2 is 10 times than area of A1, then the exerted force F2 will be 10 times than the applied force F1. So in this way we can multiply our force up to many times, right? Dear students, now we are going to discuss about an important experiment. This experiment was performed by scientist Torricelli, so it is known as Torricelli's experiment. Here I would like to tell something about air pressure before explaining this experiment. We know there is an atmospheric layer surrounding our earth and it has a weight. So it creates pressure on the earth's surface, on our body, on everything, and which is balanced by the internal pressure by the blood inside our body. Dear student, scientist Torricelli performed this experiment using a thick glass tube near about 100 centimeter long. He filled the tube with mercury and block the apparent and make it invert and place on the mercury contained in a container like this. Then since mercury has weight, so it creates a pressure on the bottom. When he removed the blocks, then he found that the level of the mercury is decreased from to near about 76 centimeter. So why this happened? Then he explained that the air pressure is exerting in the outside of the mercury level, which is balanced by the pressure exerted by this mercury level. this mercury level has a weight, so it creates pressure on this surface which is balanced by the air pressure exerted at the other points. Okay, dear student, I hope you got it. So using this experiment, we know about the barometer. Using this we can measure the air pressure. Actually, barometer works on the basis of this Torricelli's experiment. Okay, if air pressure decreases, then the mercury column also become shorter, that is the height of the mercury column decreases. If the air pressure increases, then the height of the air column also increases. So if the height of the mercury column is denoted by H, then we know the pressure exerted by a liquid or gas having density rho is denoted by P is equal to H rho G. Here H is the height of the mercury column or any type of liquid, if rho is the density of the liquid and G is the acceleration due to gravity. Using this equation, we can measure the pressure exerted by the liquid or gas. So here the pressure exerted by the mercury column can be calculated using this equation, and which is exactly equal to the air pressure at that place. So we can get air pressure by measuring the pressure exerted by mercury column using this expression. Dear student, so we can say that we can get air pressure by measuring the pressure exerted by mercury using this experiment. Okay, here I would like to tell something about air pressure. You know, in our pure air there are almost 78% nitrogen. Nitrogen is of almost about 78%. Oxygen is almost 21%, and another gases are contains 1% volume. That's when you know the molecular mass of nitrogen is 28 and that of oxygen is 32, but the molecular mass of water vapor means H2O, the molecular mass of water vapor is only 18. So we can say that our density of pure air is higher than the density of water vapor. So when water vapor occupy the space, then the density of air decreases. Okay, so using this basic, we can say that when the air pressure decreases, we can realize that the amount of water vapor is increasing in the air. When the air pressure decreases, because we calculate air pressure using this expression. If the density decreases, then the pressure will also decreases. So when we see the air pressure is decreases, we can realize that the water vapor is increasing in the atmosphere. So we can say that it is there is a possibility of raining. Okay, but if the mercury column, height of the mercury column increases, so we can say that the air pressure is increasing. Okay, and we can say that the amount of water vapor is decreasing in the air vapor. So we can say that the atmosphere will be dry, right? So we can get the information about or prediction about our weather from the broadcasting source. They tell us the prediction using this principle. Okay, right. Dear students, now we are going to solve two mathematical problems related to Pascal's law and its applications. Actually, the question is described by the figure Here is a U-shaped tube which contains two cylinders. One is smaller and another is greater. A force which is denoted by F1 and having value 100 Newton is applied on the smaller piston whose area is 4 centimeter square. And according to Pascal's law, pressure created on this piston is transmitted through the liquid and exerted on the larger piston. So force is related to the pressure. Here the area of the larger piston is 100 centimeter square and the force exerted on the larger piston is unknown. And the two questions are, first question wanted to know that determine the pressure on the smaller piston. In the smaller piston, force 100 Newton is applied and area of the piston is 4 centimeter square. We have to calculate the pressure exerted on the smaller piston. And question second question said that determine the value of F2. We have to determine the value of F2 which is exerted on the larger piston. Right? Yes, student. Now we are going to solve our first question. To solve this question, we have to know the information. Here, force on smaller piston, which is denoted by F1, is equal to 100 Newton. Right? Then the area of the smaller piston which is denoted by A1 is 4 square centimeter. But here the area is not expressed in SI unit. We have to convert the area into SI unit. We know if we would like to express centimeter square to meter square, we have to divide the value by 10,000 or we can multiply the value by 10 to the power minus 4. Then it will be converted to meter square. Right? So we have to calculate pressure. Suppose denoted by P1 is equal to what? Okay? Question, to calculate the pressure, we know P1 is equal to F1 by A1. If we put the value of F1 and A1 from the given side, the value of F1 is equal to 100 Newton and value on A1 is 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Right? And we can calculate the value like this. If we put to the upside, then the power will be 10 to the power 4 Newton meter square. And the calculated value of the calculated value will be 25 into 10 to the power 4 Pascal. Newton per meter square or Pascal. Here, this is the required pressure on the fast or smaller piston. Right? I hope you got it. Now we are going to solve our second problem. To solve the second question, we have to include the information related to larger piston. Here the information of fast piston and fast and force and area related to fast piston are given, but the area of the larger piston denoted by A2 is equal to 100 centimeter. Similarly, we have to convert the value to meter square. So we can write that 100 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Now we have to calculate the value of F2, that means force on larger piston, okay, which is denoted by F2 is equal to what? That's when we know F2 by F1 is equal to A2 by A1, or F2 is equal to A2 by A1 multiplied by F1. Now, using the value of the quantities placed in the right side, we can get the value of F1. The value of A2 is 100 multiplied by 10 inverse 4, and F1 is 100 Newton divided by A1. A1 is 4 into 10 inverse 4, right? This trend, by cancelling 10 to the power minus 4 from numerator and denominator, now we can get the result 2500 Newton. This is the result of our second question. Okay, so I think you have also got the solution. Dear students, finally we are going to a basic or common question related to the topics we discussed in our today's class, and the question is, why do we feel breathing problem when we go high place from the earth's surface? Dear student, in our inhalation or breathing process, we know oxygen plays an important role in this process, but it is also known to us that if we move upward from the earth's surface, then the density of air decreases with the height. At the same time, the amount of oxygen also decreases in the air. So when we move to the high place from the earth's surface, since there is a shortage of oxygen, so we feel problem in our breathing process or inhalation process, right? This is a very important question related to the topics we discussed. Dear student, I hope you got all the topic we have discussed in our class. These are very important and involved to our daily life. But if you have any confusion or query about this topic, you can ask your subject teacher, you can also ask me, you can write to our group. So thank you very much being with me in my class. May Allah bless all of you. Assalamu alaikum.